just said past due, so I hit publish.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I don't know if this.
YouTube.com/babycastles, I think.
YouTube. Yeah.
I'm at the YouTube. It's not.
Oh.
Should we start?
There's just a schedule.
It says published now. Try refreshing.
Refresh.
Can I try some of that?
Yep,
Yeah.
live now. Live from
Yeah, I'll take one too.
Okay, you good?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
Okay, cool.
Okay. This is the
That's
first
a
thing
cool
that
move.
we're gonna see.
Yeah. This is like $2 for like 6 boxes.
Nice.
You have it, Carl? You saw it?
Yep, YouTube.com/babycastles, and it went live.
Perfect. Alrighty. So first thing, Twine is basically you're going to be using Twine to create interactive stories, and the stories are going to be aligned in nodes and branches. So first thing every story needs is a title. Titles are really hard to come up with. So what should we call our story? We're going to make one real quick.
Sunday Game Jam, the movie.
No, the game.
The game, yeah.
The movie, the game.
No, the game is, yeah. The game is more accurate.
And then asterisk.
No, but
and
Sunday
then
Game Jam, the movie, the
XXX.
game.
Yeah. DX plus alpha.
Okay, we named our game, and then we put an author name, and this is going to show up in the sides. So now, if we hit build over here, and then test play, you will see that the name of the game is showing up over here, along with the author, right down here. See that? Alright. So, there's not much in it. So, let's put something in the story. So we're going to go in, and we're going to say something like, hello world, this is the Saturday night, this is...
Saturday night.
Yes.
Don't want to.
Share right here too.
Sorry, I've been doing that all day.
That's
Okay.
Please
Disclaimer,
take them
everyone
home
is
tonight.
fine.
I understand, Carl.
Okay. So we just type anything in. You can type anything into the start passage, anything you want, or in the first passage. If you're using it on the phone, the passage won't be called start. It'll be called untitled passage or anything. But it'll still be the only passage in. So just go in and name it, or say anything in it. Now if we keep doing that by accident. If we hit test, hey, our text showed up. Hello world, this is Saturday Night Live at Baby Castle. Totally copyrighted. But is this a game right now? It's just text. You can't really interact with the text. Right. So let's put some I don't have time to do all this.
Thanks for jumping in on some of the writing.
Can you see the right. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So let's make it do something. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this baby castle, we're gonna turn the baby castle's word into a link. So we're gonna put like these two square brackets on either side. We're gonna put a pipe. The pipe on most keyboards is if you hit shift and this slash. I think that's called the backslash, right? Or is it a forward slash? Whichever slash. So yeah, if you hit
I think
shift,
it's a backslash.
yeah, if you hit shift and backslash, you'll get the pipe. And then let's call the new passage something. Let's call it Baby Castle Intro. And that creates a link. Right now you notice that the link is probably going to be in red, which means that the link doesn't exist. It's basically saying you want me to go where? But Twine is very helpful. So if you try to do this, they'll be like, this link doesn't really exist. Do you want to create it? Right now we're going to go with no, just so I can show you what happens if it's like no. This is our link, but it doesn't exist. There is no end for the baby castle. It's like an infinite loop. So we're gonna go back in. This time when we cancel it out, we wanna say yes. And then we put something in the new passage, and we just created a new passage over here. It's called Baby Castle Intro. You can click it and drag it around wherever, however we like to arrange stuff. Generally speaking, I like to go downwards and then branch out. So Baby Castle's intro. Let's put a choice here. What's a good choice to make? Anyone? A choice? Hey,
Make a game,
Baby
don't make a game.
Jam, no jam.
jam? Or no jam?
Or another jam.
Another jam.
Or okay, we'll do a triple choice one. We're gonna get advanced. Space Jam.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is set up as a loaner computer. If anybody
Oh,
wants to know
awesome. Thank you.
Okay. So if we hit X again, Twine will create it all. So this only happens in 1.4.2. If you're trying to do this on the phone build or on Twine 2.0, it'll it won't even give you the option. It'll just create the link for you, which might be good in some cases in which the link doesn't exist at all. But let's say you just mistyped it. In that case, it might be a problem. Okay. So now let's just put something in jamming. So put jamming in jam. Go to Space Jam and we say we get a no jam and we say something like okay. I'm just gonna save it just because. We hit test play now. See, the Baby Castle's link is now blue. Click it. There you go. We all good? Should I slow down a bit? Okay. So now which choice should we make? This is the moment of truth. Should we jam? Should we not jam? Or should we space jam?
Space Jam.
Space Jam.
Alright.
With a capital L.
Yes. That's basically 90% of Twine right there.
Nice.
Yeah. You just make passages, you put them in the brackets, and then you make your choices, and your choices are gonna show up like this. And then if you don't like a choice, or if you wanted to do something else, you can put
Just a message.
yeah.
When I go to build and test play, it says the code has gotten itself in a mess, and then I don't see any stuff.
Are you running? Is it the OS X version?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that might be a specific thing.
It might, because I know that they recently changed how HTML5 works. So a lot of HTML5 based code is no longer working unless you give it permission to run, something like that. So I know a lot of Twine games were affected. That's why Twine 1.4.2 can't do audio anymore unless.
wow.
Oh, right.
Does browser version have any effect on that? Because I know Chrome screwed up a
Yes.
bunch of audio stuff, so if you use Firefox or something, does that help?
Yes, it definitely helps.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure how that works on OS X though. Are you running Chrome on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Try Firefox.
Oh no. Hey, how's it going?
Perfect. I'm glad I said that.
I think everyone's fine.
Is it not doing it?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole
So
point
everyone's
is
set up?
so you guys
We can go back and fix our code now. Remember how the original game I was showing you was broken. So,
There you go. So, at the end of the jam, just put this back in the Hungry Buddy tab, plug everything in again, and restart it.
Okay.
okay. We are good?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go back to Jojo over here. These links in this old game are still broken, but now we know how to fix it. So what should we do to fix them?
We create a
Just
Sure.
the passages.
Okay, so this time we are going to create those passages. So just hit yes, and now those passages aren't broken anymore. So now testing from the beginning all the time can get a bit tiring and grueling and not fun. So Twine also lets you do is you can just right click here on any passage you want to start testing from. Test play, and look at that. The everything is working now. We haven't put anything in there.
How do you get to that view of shows? Oh, I see. No.
Normally, if you just close out of it, and if the link doesn't exist, it'll give you the pop-up window. But there's another way to manually do it too.
I mean this view.
This view?
Yeah. How do you get to this window?
Oh, that's just. Are you using the online version?
No, I'm using the.
Oh, that's 2.0. It's the same thing, but it's like it just looks. It'll look a bit different.
Oh, looks a little.
Yeah, for now. It uses the scripting language uses a bit different because I think 2.0 uses Harlow, while 1.4.2 uses SugarCube. But we're not gonna go deep into coding, so you don't have to worry about that. But basically, that's the same view.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah. So let's say we don't want to do it like that. There's another way we can also fix it. Is if we know the name of the link that's broken, we can also just create a new passage and just call it. What was the name? Yeah, Twine Tools. Let's say. So we'll just if we just name the passage like that, then it'll automatically get us set up. Okay? Alrighty. So now, this is all fun, but we can do more. Like, let's say, a lot of people say the Twine is just text. That's not true. We can also do fun stuff with images. Like right here, if I play it from here, you see here there's a gigantic picture of me, right? But, what you don't know is, you can click on it, and it takes you somewhere else. So, how did it do that? The syntax is pretty similar, but the only thing you'll need first is an image. So, let's import any image into our thing. We go into story, import image from file, and then just it supports most kind of images, even GIFs. So let's say I want to import Hercules over here. So if I want to show the image up, all I gotta do is I'm gonna go in here, image, then within the second bracket I'm going to like name it. So the name right now here is Herc. I'm just gonna call it Herc as well. So if I do img and Herc like this, or like whatever the thing your image is named, you hit test play. There you go. You have Hercules in your game, but he's just a picture. And having just a picture is fine, but let's turn him into a button. So what we just do is we create another set of square brackets, and then inside we write down the name of the passage we want to go to. So if you want to go to intro 1, you go to intro 1, or actually let's go to a different passage. Let's go to now if we click on him, he takes us over to a different passage. Now you might have noticed how this page has like different coloring for the background and everything. To change that, we'll need to make something called a style sheet. So you can just right click and then create a new style sheet. I'm not going to go super into the style sheets because style sheets can get super complex, but we're just going to go over some basics. Okay.
Where do you find style sheets?
If you right click and
Right click on a passage
Just
Yeah.
in the blank.
in the blank.
yeah.
How do you do that? My version is slightly different.
I am not sure how to do another one. Let me just open up Twine 2 real quick. Since we do have a lot of people using Twine 2.
Sorry, I downloaded the wrong version.
That's fine. Okay.
What did you download? Twine 1?
No, the 2.0, 2.2.1.
Yeah. I think you can just put everything in here and it should help it. Yeah. So if you're using Twine 2.0,
Yeah.
if you wanna do style sheets, just go in here,
Oh.
and then there's a thing called Edit Stories style sheet.
Oh, I see.
If you click on that, then
You can put this as a color.
yeah.
Cool.
So let me go
Thank
over the
you.
basics. So body in Twine, I'll do PW story later. So body in Twine refers to just the main body of text. So if you make any changes to the body, it'll affect all the text that you see in like when the game runs in the main body, which is not like to include like sidebars and menus and whatnot. So everything that's not a sidebar or a menu is part of the main body. So if you just want to change the font size, we just do something like font size, and then it always like accepts values in pixels. So just 20 pixels like this. It will change the value size of the text. Say we write something like
See you folks later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's say we want to do something else too. We want to add like we want to change the color as well. So we go back to the style sheet, and then right where it says body, we do something like background color, and then Twine accepts color values in hex. So let's just do a quick Google search for colors in hex. Okay. Let's see, what kind of color do we all want? You have a favorite color?
I like green.
Green? Okay. This kind of green?
No.
Bluish green.
Yeah, a little bluish green.
That's not green at all.
Maybe an orange green? Brown?
Like this? This is bluer, right?
Like turquoise.
This is turquoise, right? I can't tell the color. Close enough?
A dirty ocean.
Okay. So I'm just gonna copy this hex value. We're gonna go into Twine and we're gonna put that value in.
Yeah, delete that 0.
You hit play. Huh. Something happened.
Oh shit, it's right.
Oh. Frank DeMarco.
I think there's a pseudo command here.
Let's go back to it and see what's up. Oh wait, I think I know what happened.
Oh,
It's just obviously
there you go.
the screen.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Huh. I guess
It's funny because it worked on mine.
Oh, it did work on yours?
Yeah, I
Okay.
just said
It must be just
background color and it just worked.
okay. Is it working for other people?
I'm still getting my specific like error where I don't see anything, but I don't know if
No.
it's working for other people.
Can I see the code that you wrote?
Yeah.
What do you put for background? Do you put a hashtag before the hex code? Yeah. Yeah.
I put the hashtag.
Wait, the color.
Is your color right?
No, that's like the text color. I can take that out.
That looks like that should be right.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Wait a minute. Hold on. Is that too many?
That's the move.
Oh wait, the whole
Is it
thing
6?
massive.
Is it exactly?
Yeah, I'm like, is that 6?
I kind of can't.
Yeah, it's 6.
Gotta navigate the passage a little.
How do you
Yeah.
try that out?
Is that
It
what?
worked for you? No. Yeah, we tried that.
Oh, that should be working.
Yes. But anyways, if you want to do it like that, then that should technically work.
What if you take out the dash color and just do background? 'Cause that should be valid CSS as well, just saying background and then I mean, just say background instead of just color.
Is it just not saving?
I should say.
Because then the regular color should have just changed then just now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's not saving.
Yeah.
I bet if you change your font size,
It won't change either. So I guess if I do something
That's a good
like
question. Let's try to find one.
oh.
Oh, what the hell?
alright, now you know you can get all the other stuff out.
Is it wiki?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
You're doing great. It's fine.
Oh, it's
Oh shit, Sam. Yeah, if you wanna see, there's a free seat here.
Oh, you're good.
Unacceptable. I'm just joking.
You just won't like fall on you.
I can pull it out.
Nah.
Oh, if you wanna sit there.
Fine,
too.
yeah.
No, we want you to sit there, we just don't want this wire interface.
Thank you.
You're banned.
I know.
Okay.
I can get you up to 3.
Let's go back to the 1.4.2, see if it works over here. Okay, it works here.
Oh.
This is fine.
It could just be something caching in the browser, maybe.
Yeah, that's great. So anyways, that's basically just how you change colors and stuff like that. Now, there's a lot of really complicated stuff to do, so a lot of the times I don't make my own style sheet from scratch, but our good friends at Glorious Trainwrecks, who actually had a game show here recently, have an entire repertoire of all sorts of Twine style sheets available for your use. So just Google Twine CSS style sheets, and here you are.
Oh, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah. Most of these are optimized for 1.4.2, so some of them might have unintended consequences.
But it looks like it's just CSS.
Yeah, it is
So
exactly
it should be
CSS.
generally fine.
Yeah. So let's I just copy one of these. Let's see, which one do we want to try? Let's try this.
Where are all the links?
Huh?
Where are all the links?
Oh, it's just Google search Twine CSS style sheet, and it's a glorious train wrecks.
It's Leon.
Oh, it's freaking sweet.
It's not if I figured it out.
Is it changing for you?
In Twine 2, it doesn't go under body, the background color goes under
Oh. That makes sense. I actually have TAW story here, but I took it out because I didn't know what it did. So, yeah. So lesson learned. TW story is important, and don't take stuff out of the script just because you're not sure what it does.
So TW story changes the full background. What if you put the background in a different one? What happens? If you just say background.
Oh, I don't
Still
know.
not updated for me though.
Ooh, it worked.
Worked? I think mine is a caching issue though, because mine is like, even with that, it's not updating.
I'm wondering if one of those is wrapped in another one. I'm just curious. Make your
I don't know.
Okay.
I copy and pasted it.
So this is
Yes.
changing your background color. So if you took this out and put it in body, would it do the same thing? Or what happens if you put in body?
It just doesn't do the thing.
Yeah, like
It doesn't read the background.
It ignores it.
Yeah. Because it used to be on the body.
But the text, the font size works on the body.
I know.
What if you put a font size on TW story? What wins? If you put two different font sizes.
Should we just copy this in?
Well, I mean, I guess just try that. I'm just curious
Because
how
it will
this
be, the
system
other one
works.
will be the default. And it doesn't do anything. It used to
Okay,
be
it
big,
works.
20 pixels big.
So TW story ignores the font size, and then background ignores body ignores background.
I guess they have specific.
I want to assume that like body only affects text, and TW story is probably just like others.
Well,
Oh, this one is also doing body dot
I'm
color.
not satisfied.
And this one is not using the TW story though.
Mm-hmm.
But
Wait, is this Twine 1.4?
this is all 1.4, yeah.
I think TW story is a Harlow thing. For 2 point, or not Harlow, but it's like a 2.1
It's a specific
syntax.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I would explain it. I think it is. There's a way to change it to sugar cube, right?
If you play your thing and we just like look at it through the browser, could I see what the code is?
Oh, hello. Here
This
you
is
are.
not plus. This is the program.
okay. So you
I'm not.
just have to like.
Oh, you're not in a web browser.
No.
Oh, well then I don't know. Okay. That's running like an executable?
Yeah.
Oh, can you push it to a web browser?
I think you can.
Is anyone using the web version, or are people using the downloaded
I think
version?
I'm using the web version.
Yeah,
so
the web version.
Okay.
People on the phone are also using the web version.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Damn, people are doing Twine on their phone.
I'm just curious about the TW story thing, how that comes out at the end. Because I mean, at the end you'll export it to web, right? That's the way you share it.
So these style sheets will actually not work in Twine 2.0.
Yeah, goofy for art.
Yes. So here, I'll take you back to the Twinery page, so we can all make sure we're on the same version.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so like this one is the 1.4.21 over here. Oh no. Should probably plug myself in. Here, yeah. If you click on the Windows or the OS X version over here, that should give you the 4.2 version. The other cool thing we can do with 1.4.2 is that Glorious Trainwrecks also has a massive collection of macros, which let you do stuff like play audio and some nice typewriter effects and whatnot. But
You're about to find that there's no audio, but I'll make an option.
JP's a real hero today. Okay, but let's like go back to some like basic coding stuff that we need for Twine, which is the same across all of them. So let's say we want to count how many dragons you're killing or something like that. How do we do that in Twine? So first, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be creating a variable. So if you want to create a variable in Twine, and a variable is basically anything that holds data. So think of it in like in algebra, x and y. Those are variables. So if you want to make a variable in Twine, all we do is put these two triangular bracket thingies. I don't know what the actual term is. And then what should we call the variable? Call it something like
There's the projector doing its thing.
no, my computer just died.
Oh no. Should have plugged into an outlet.
Did you do this one?
Oh, it's coming through.
Oh, not too.
It is right now.
Yeah, it's just like split second thing happened.
Do you need to unplug the projector? Okay.
Turn off. And then restart it. And it'll just like go back into waiting mode. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh, perfect. It's like straight back to where we're. Okay, so let's call the variable something like twine meow. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put like a cache sign. Cache sign denotes a variable, and then something like and then we name it something like twine variable. And then we want it to be like a number, right? So let's set it to something like 0. And then if we want to show what our variable is, all we have to do is go in here and type in something like the twine variable is, and then we put those triangular bracket things again, put the hashtag, and we let's just call our variable just by naming it again. So just like that. So now we set the twine variable to 0.
Can you see the code again?
Yeah.
I missed it.
Is there? Are you not charging?
No.
Yeah, maybe I just need to hit a switch on.
You should have put some screen on us. Screening at you?
How about now?
Yeah, it's going through now.
How about I mean are you charging?
It showed up as charging, but it then turned off for some reason. So like, let me just restart again.
Okay. Well, now this light is plugged into the same thing, so if that's on, you should be getting power.
Okay. Because I got power for a second, which let me restart the computer.
Oh.
Is it different? Is the variable different in Twine 2.0?
Yeah. Oh, it's just telling me that the syntax is different. And then
I think it's a question mark.
Let's go back to halfway to.
You know how Yarn doesn't have that though. It's terrible.
So like this.
Oh no, it's. I don't think it's all at all that.
Well, let's say mine is in sugar cube, so oh, okay. Also, apparently, me closing my browser and restarting it made my style sheet show up in Twine 2.0.
Nice.
Yeah. So, good news is the style sheets for Twine that are like for 1.4.2 in the website, the Glorious Trend website, they'll still work for Twine 2. You just gotta close your browser and start it back up again. Repeatedly.
Cache thing.
Yeah. But yeah. And so that's how basically you do a variable. Now let's do something with the variable. Let's say if you went in through here, pick a new one. Let's say each of these choices affect, they all lead back to Space Jam 2. So but they're all going to be changing the variable differently. So if you go through Jam, then we're going to take the variable that we just made. We're going through jamming, you set it to 2. If we're going through Space Jam, we're setting it to 5. And if we're going through no jam, we're setting it to 0. Okay. Now here we're going to do a thing called an if statement. So it's basically if, and then the variable which is okay. So if copyright is 5, then I'm going to say copyright not infringed, you make money. But if copyright if it's not 5, then we want to say, actually don't know how to spell copyright. Okay. So now if you run it, you do Space Jam, welcome to the jam, and then you make money if you just go through the Space Jam pathway, even though it's coming to the same node. But let's say we don't do it like that. Let's say we go through just jamming, and if we go, then it changes. Same passageway. The only thing we're changing is the variable, and we're doing an if statement like this. So if the value of the variable is this, then this will happen. Otherwise, whatever happens then else happens. So you can even put like, you can even do stuff like.
So you set the value in the Space Jam page?
Yeah. I set it all over. All of these passages have like a value over here. I'm also setting the Setting it all. Every passage is like changing the value of copyright, so that if you go through a certain passage where it's going to be changing it to something else. We can also do something a bit more complicated, in which we can make it so that instead of just adding like a random value, this time, if we go through the space jam tree, we still make money because it is adding to the value, and the initial value is set to 0. But with this new code, let's say the initial value was not set to 0. Let's say it was set to 1. Now we test play it. Go to the Space Jam, and copyright is infringed. So can anyone tell me why that's happening now?
Can you make the text bigger?
Because it's not exactly 5?
Exactly. Because we changed the starting value. So what we're doing this time is, instead of just setting the value to 5 directly, we're adding 5 to it. So we're taking the value of the variable, which is copyright, and we're adding 5 to it. And because at the beginning we set the value of copyright to 1, the value right here is more than 5. It's going to be 6. So instead of doing it like that, let's do something like this. If it's greater than 4. Now let's see how that works. Yep. This time copyright is not being infringed upon. And you make money because instead of setting it to an exact value, it's greater than a value. And that's basically it for the basics of Twine. It's just that over and over again. Just a bunch of nodes. So basically if you can make nodes and you can know how to declare variables, and you know how to like do an if statements of variables, you basically know everything you need to know about Twine. Everything else is just visual polish. And the style sheets, that requires a bit more in-depth knowledge of CSS, and I'm not even that informed on CSS, so I just use pre-made style sheets that other people have made and released to public, and then edit them out from like that instead of starting from ground up. So we should all have everything to get the jam going then.
Alright, cool. I'll announce the theme real quick if I can.
Well, we have the optional theme, which we find it by finding a random Wikipedia article. I'm excited to find out what it's going to be.
So, if it goes through. This isn't it. This is just well, I'll find out what it is at the same time. So this is a preview of what a random Wikipedia article could be. But it's going to be Tambov Avia. So you can take this inspiration for whatever you can, you can take anything from this, right, and then make something from it. So I'll read a little bit so maybe, you can take some inspiration. It doesn't have to be completely about this. It could be just about Russia or 1993, right? Or the number 5 or fleet size. That's pretty interesting. But, take inspiration where you will. Tambov Avia was a passenger charter airline based in Tambov, Russia. It was founded in 1993. It ceased operations in 2009. The fleet size is 5. Key people are Aristov Anatly, who's a general manager, and what else? They declared bankruptcy.
So you could make a game about bankruptcy?
Or whatever you want, you can take...
So the key managers.
Oh yeah, criminal proceedings were launched
Oh,
against
boy.
him at the request of 3 co-founders of the airline. So yeah, they were illegally receiving over 4 million rubles. I guess is that the Russian
money.
currency?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
At the bottom, it says this article relating to a Russian airline is a stub. Can we use the term stub?
Yeah, I mean, whatever you want from this, you can take from this. So yeah, I'll post this in the
On Wikipedia?
on the itch, so people can have inspiration. But
Edit the Wikipedia page
we have-
and link it to the itch.
huh?
Edit the Wikipedia page and link it to the itch.
Oh, I could do that. Yeah, I could also do that.
Yeah,
But,
it could be like, also like Little Known Game Jam also
So-
took place based on.
So we have about. It looks like the workshop went a little bit longer, so we have about an hour now to work. We can always expand it a little bit, but then we'll.
It's like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
If like by 7:30 people are wrapping up and putting their stuff on like the itch page,
Yeah.
then we can like kind of get set up and show them, and then like be
Yeah.
done by 8.
So yeah, we can adjust it as need be. Think about those things, and then we'll present the games afterwards.
Yeah.
All right. I'll put on some music as well.
Thank you, Mustafa.
Thank you, Mustafa.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then if anyone's like stuck, or just ask your neighbors or ask for help.
What music will we have? Well, this is basically just everything.
Frank was the story.
Oh, hey guys, how's it going?
Oh. Wait,
All doing different stuff. Well,
Do you want to say?
started.
I'm gonna move.
The prompt was
Frank, how do I invite people to a channel?
passenger
I know, but I like that you have the key. Yeah, it's literally just it's pretty basically the same thing except it's parentheses.
Looks like you created one already.
I created events, but I want everybody
Where do you want to invite them to?
to events.
To events? Yeah, that's right. So it's just discord.gg/that. If you send them a link, like HTTP.
We have the.
Oh no, I know how to.
I mean, what if I want to invite them to it like in Discord?
In Discord?
Like, can't I just say like ask everybody?
Oh, you mean you want everybody in general to go to events?
To know about events, yeah.
Just say you can hashtag. You just do like
You just say hashtag
events. Yeah, hey, I created hashtag events.
Oh, okay, that's what I was trying to do. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you want to play music?
What?
I don't have a phone. My phone doesn't plug in. And that thing's not charged.
Yeah.
Maybe
It is
Sam
cold,
wants to.
yeah.
You want to play some music, Sam? Yeah, do it. Yeah.
It's not going to be very good. I just don't have the phone that we usually use is not.
I don't know if I'm gonna be. Yeah, it is. I'm just gonna do something else.
If you want to play anything, chill, study music.
Fishman's. You ever listen to that?
Play it.
It's chill. Should I just like? I don't know. This doesn't look like this lines up. I guess that's for two. Yeah, right.
No, he has the right version.
Yeah, but this is 1.4.
Yeah,
that's what
It's, well, I just got here before you, so.
But basically.
I mean, not before, after.
Yeah,
So
so basically
What's
you
your
just
twine game?
use these brackets, and then you have one of
what's that?
these
What's your
things.
twine game?
And then you can have
Oh, my
another
twine
one.
game?
And then that links
Oh,
to
Facebook?
this is
No, I'm
like
not actually
what
making a
a
twine
text
game.
looks
I'm
like,
like-
and then
but this would
is
be
the
a fun
actual
twine game.
link. And then you
Remember
basically
your
just
Facebook
do that
password.
over and over again.
You try all the
to
passwords you
whatever the
know,
next
and
node
then you
is.
create a
Yeah,
new
yeah.
one.
But this is
and
the
then it doesn't let you
actual
because you've already
yeah,
used it.
And then this is what the thing is called.
That's the
Okay.
core mechanic.
Yeah.
How do you
Do you
do
mind
that?
just sending me a
I don't
copy
know
of
how to
that?
do basic things in Chinese.
Or if you want to just, let me see.
I don't know my computers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you wanna, I don't know if you would be down to use your phone for the live stream, but mine's just like not charging with this charger.
Okay, if you want to set that up. I
Yeah.
don't know how
Do you
to.
have the Mevo app?
No, I don't.
Okay.
You going to the website?
It's in Russian.
Where are you?
What are you doing?
Wait, and so you're waiting for me.
Do you want to head up?
Yeah.
Wait, Frank, what's the channel?
Great. That's logged in. Share.
It's
fucking horrible.
What is it?
You got
14, right?
What's your game?
It's where the red and white
Oh, should I just keep working on my book?
yeah, it's either 14 or
Oh, there's visualizations of the post. You should do like a hammer and sickle in terms of like the structure.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It's gonna be like a big.
Oh no, it is. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it seems like it's working for most people. So.
Yeah, there actually is a way I figured out to like switch Twine to like accept Twine code. It's very easy. You can just like.
Oh, VG is 17.
Frank, what's the thing that we have to turn on?
maybe it's on mute. You see that red light?
Is it 14?
It's whatever those two things are plugged into. Those two, yeah.
So that's 12.
Just dedicated to watching one season.
Is it not working?
I actually pitched that to Clara. Clara was like,
Master is up.
I was like,
Yeah, I can do it. I can do it.
And he's just not watching it.
Is it working?
I just need to get it hooked up to the account.
Is that lorem ipsum dolor?
This is another client stream.
Oh, well, but my phone's dead. That doesn't make any sense.
Are you hungry?